So to truly understand why most people, in my opinion, will not be successful in traditional multi-level marketing, one needs to really look at human nature for a minute. Historically, there are two kinds of people. There are starters and there are finishers, right? So who's a starter and who's a finisher? What's the difference? Well, everybody is a starter, right? Everybody you know is going to lose 20 pounds, be a better husband, wife, be a better parent, get better grades, run for the PTA. Everybody's going to go to the gym 5 days a week, right? Those are starters. Finishers are few and far between. These are the people who set a goal and do it. They're going to lose 20 pounds, and they do. They're going to stop smoking, and they do. They're going to go and run for the PTA or the PTO president, and they win. They're going to go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, and they get up when it's raining, when it's snowing. They get up every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and go to that gym because they made themselves a promise. Those are finishers. But because most people on earth are just starters and not finishers, let's now add to this the fact that the majority of people on the earth have never owned or run a business of their own. They are not used to being in charge. They're not used to finding people to work for them, recruiting, training, sponsoring, supporting, handling any issues that come up. So let's go back a minute. You take the typical person who is a starter, and now you throw into the mix the fact that they make their first 3 or 4 phone calls to people, whether they're cold leads off the internet or their best friend, sister, mother, and brother, and 2 or 3 people in a row say no. They're done. And all those starters never make it to the finish line. And so it's true in MLM as it is in life. So the most important thing I can tell you is, if you're looking at a home business, and that business does not provide you with a service or a product that is of such a good value that regardless of whether or not you were building a business, you'd still buy it, pay for it, use it month in and month out, then you might as well not start. I mean, realistically, how many people do you know that would walk into their local retail store and pay $40 or $50 for a bottle of juice that's supposed to be some miracle cure that, for the most part, probably is no more effective in terms of nutritional value than a bottle of Welch's grape juice? Maybe a little more, maybe not, but still, $40 or $50. How many people do you know that month after month after month will continue to spend $150 or $200 a month on a vitamin, regardless of how great the company says it is? And it might be good. But how many people do you know that would walk into their local nutritional store in town and spend $150, $200 a month, regardless of whether or not they were making any money? Now, some, but very few. Here's the other sad thing. The majority of network marketing companies, MLM companies, have an attrition rate, a cancellation rate, a non-reorder rate of somewhere around 90% in the first 3 to 6 months, 90 to 180 days. That means in order for you to be successful in your business, you have to replace and then some every single person in your business on average twice a year or more. There are companies that have to replace their entire distributor force on average 1 to 2 times a year. Now, yes, I get it. There are people who never quit. But there is a greater than 100% attrition rate from the lower ranks. So for those people who are the top people, the way they're making it is through massive, massive sponsoring. And in almost every single case, the majority of money in network marketing is made on what's called promotional volume. That's when you sign up your next door neighbor and she or he spends $1,000 or $2,000 for a bunch of products that they need to, quote, sell to their new distributors. And really, nobody's reordering. So what happens is when that recruiting frenzy is over, or enough people get stuck with a bunch of product, everything unravels from the bottom up. Because if you got $2,000 worth of stuff, or $1,000 worth of stuff, or $500 worth of stuff sitting in your garage or your living room, and you can't sell it, you certainly aren't going to spend any money with that company next month, right? So the key is, if you do want to build a network marketing business, in my opinion, number one, find a company that provides a product or a service that you feel is of such a great value that if you never made a penny with that company, if there were no business opportunity associated, you would still shop with that company simply because you felt that this was something you needed to have in your home. Second thing I would do, I wouldn't let my sponsor pick me. Just because somebody calls you and says, "Oh, you responded to my ad," and doesn't mean that's the person who has to enroll you. This is a business decision. If I were going to buy a national franchise, the first thing I'd do is I'd find somebody who had built a successful business with that same franchise company, and I would ask them a lot of questions and maybe let that person mentor me and train me. Why would I follow somebody who knows absolutely no more than I do? Why would I follow somebody who hasn't got a track record of success? Now, it's not to say that if your best friend calls you and says, "I'm interested in sharing something with you," and they bring along somebody who's successful or introduce you, that's fine. But in network marketing, the majority of people have absolutely no success, so you have the blind leading the blind, the unsuccessful leading the unsuccessful. Well, what is your chance that you're going to go out there and build a business? Because who are you going to replicate? Who are you going to mimic? So if I were starting again, and I'm not, I would first find the company. And once I found a company that I was excited about, that had products and services that I felt were of value, the next thing I would do is I would pick my sponsor. I would find somebody who is willing to mentor me, somebody who is fully entrenched in and has a vested interest in making sure that you're successful. Because if the person who enrolls you doesn't really care how big their business gets and your success really is insignificant to them, they don't care whether you win or lose. But if you find somebody or a group of people that care about how much you win because your success helps them succeed, you hit a home run. Anyway, have a great day. I hope what I've shared with you is a little bit of help and continued success. Have a wonderful day, and hope that we have a chance to talk soon. Thanks. Bye-bye for now.